guys? It's your boy, Dark Sage, back with another video. And today we're going to be doing What If Naruto Was the Grim Reaper? Or had the Grim Reaper's powers. But last time we left off, Naruto was Rookie of the Year. Fast forward a couple of days later, they're in class and Sasuke still wants Naruto's scythe because he thinks it'll look good on him. And so Naruto says, or Sakura goes up to Sasuke and says, "Sasuke-kun, are you okay?" And Sasuke says, "I want that scythe. Go get it for me." And Sakura basically goes to get the scythe. And her head gets cut completely off. And Naruto says, "I warned you never to touch my scythe." And everybody is in shock. Even the Anbu that were watching were in shock. And they alert the third Hokage. And they all have a council meeting. So before the joining instructors get there, all the council calls Naruto in, and Mibuki Haruno is furious because that was her daughter. Mibuki Haruno is Sasuke's mom, or Sakura's mom. Fuck Sasuke. And she's like, "You killed my daughter. We're exiling you from the village." And 14 other people are like, "Yeah." 14 out of the 20 people or counselors are like, "Yeah, yeah." And Hiruzen says, "We should hear Naruto's side of the story." So everybody shut the hell up. And Naruto says, "I warned her never to touch my scythe. And she tried to touch it. And she got her head cut off." And he was like, "Oh shit, this isn't looking too good for him." And so everybody's like, "That's not a good excuse to cut somebody's head off." And so they're all complaining to him. And a big ass vein is in. What the fuck? Why do I have Facebook? I don't even have Facebook. But a big ass vein is in Naruto's head because he's annoyed. He's like, "If I bring Sakura Haruno back, will y'all leave me the fuck alone?" And they're all like, "You can't. That's impossible." And Naruto says, "I can bring her back if she went to hell." And Naruto says, "Resurrection jutsu." And Sakura's body basically flies to the council room, and her soul reattaches to her body, and they sync back together. And Sakura is alive again. And she's like, "What happened?" And Mibuki goes up and runs to Sakura and says, "I'll never let this demon harm you again. Fucking demon." And everybody in the room is calling Naruto a demon and telling them to get the hell out, except for Hiruzen, Shino's dad, Ino's dad, Shikamaru's dad, and Choji's dad. All of them are telling, all of them except the people that I just named are telling Naruto to get the hell out because he's a fucking demon. And Naruto says, "You think I'm a demon? You're wrong. I'm not a demon. I am more than a demon. I am a god." And Naruto basically walks out, leaving them all baffled on what he just said. And they're all like, "And damn trickster, he's a fucking brat. He's a fucking demon brat." Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the cussing. It's just the way the script's set up. I'm sorry. But after that, Naruto goes back to school with Sakura. And Sakura's walking far apart from him. And everybody's glaring at Naruto like he did something to them. Ooh, Mr. Beast. Everybody's glaring at Naruto like he did something to them. And Naruto says, "Stop looking at me or I'll kill you all." And they basically all come at Naruto. And he kills all of them. And Sakura runs away. And the Anbu have to alert Hiruzen again. Because Naruto killed 5 people. And so this time, the same people that were mad at him are mad at him even more. But this time Naruto refuses to resurrect them. And so they say, "Screw it. If you won't resurrect them, then you have to leave the village." And Naruto says, "What? How is that fair? They attacked me." And and the council basically says, "You demon brat, they didn't attack you. You're a liar." And Naruto says, "What? That doesn't even make sense." And so Hiruzen says, "Naruto, I'm sorry." And Naruto says, "Hiruzen, it's not your fault. I know how the council works. Thank the 5 of you who didn't vote to kick me out. I know they want me out." And then Naruto says, "How long do I have?" And they say, "You have 1 day to get your stuff and leave." And Naruto says, "Mibuki." And Sakura's mom looks at Naruto, and an X appears on her head, like right on the center of her forehead. Naruto says, "You have 5 days to live," and walks out. And she's scared to death. And Kurama starts laughing and he says, "Kid, you haven't used that power in so long. I thought you were never going to use it again." And Naruto says, "Summoning jutsu, death counter." And this jutsu basically, Naruto can set a time of anybody's death. And so Naruto basically gathers all of his stuff and is going to leave the village. And everybody hears about this, and so they're all laughing and cheering, "Hooray, hooray, the demon's leaving! Screw him!" And people are throwing bottles and rocks and knives, and they're all just hitting Naruto. And he's not even fighting back at this point. But there's one person who's not yelling. Well, there are a few people who are not yelling. Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, and Hinata. And just to let y'all know, Naruto's a playboy, but I'm not gonna do any Hinata ships. Not for this series. But Naruto basically is leaving. And Hinata says, "I love you, Naruto. I've always loved you." And Naruto basically goes over to Hinata and tongue kisses her. And she passes out. And then he says, "Tell Hinata I will never, ever be with her." And then he leaves. Naruto leaves the village. And Hinata wakes up and is sad. But her friends tell her what Naruto said. And this makes her a little angry, because she's loved him for the longest time. But he never loved her back. So basically, she pretty much instantly gets over Naruto and is like, if he doesn't love me, it's okay. I'll still like to be his friend. And so we cut back to Naruto, and he's walking. He's been walking for a good 8 hours now. And he stumbles and falls into a dungeon. And it's like, he says, what the hell? And it says, death. And Naruto says, what is this? And there's a plaque on the bottom of the door that says, secret Uzumaki compound. And Naruto says, my name is Naruto Uza. Oh shit, hold on, let me open this up. And so he goes in, and he sees a bunch of scrolls, and a container of eyes. Mind you, Naruto has the Sharingan, because, he stole a bunch of the Sharingans. Like, he stole a lot of them when the Uchiha massacre happened. And so, Naruto has the Sharingan. But he sees another pair of eyes. And these eyes state, from Minato to Naruto, I know you're the Grim Reaper. There's a note that says, I know you're the Grim Reaper, Naruto. The Sage of Six Paths told me. Now we're gonna cut to before Naruto was born. The Sage of Six Paths comes to Minato in his dreams and says, Minato, Namikaze, I have urgent news. Your son is not only the reincarnation of my son, Ashura, but is going to be the Grim Reaper. So, I'm going to give you a formula to make his eyes. And Naruto and Minato says, wait, what eyes? And the Sage of Six Paths says, the eyes of death. Sorry guys, I'm back. But Minato says, wait, what? The eyes of death? What are they? And this is what the eyes of death look like. And the Sage of Six Paths says, Naruto, he already has the ability. He can't instantly make somebody die. Not yet. But with these eyes, he has that ability. He also has the ability to make black flames like the Amaterasu. But he has 3 forms of the flame. I'm sorry, guys. My mom keeps on calling me. But it's okay. Because I gotta get it right. But Naruto says, well, the Sage of Six Paths says he has 3 forms of the flame. A black flame, which can burn anything. And he can control the temperature. But it drains a lot of chakra. He says the blue flame, which attaches itself to the owner and forms a shield around the owner, or like a suit basically. And then he says the white flame. The white flame attaches itself to the opponent he's facing and burns the opponent until the user tells it to stop. And Minato is utterly shocked by this and says, "So, my son's the Grim Reaper?" And the Sage of Six Paths says, "Yes." And Minato says, "And you want me to give him these eyes?" And the Sage of Six Paths says, "Damn, nigga, I just explained all of this to you. Why would I be here if I didn't explain it? God." And he loses his temper and is like, "This shit takes up my time. I could be training, getting ready." And Minato says, "Getting ready for what?" And the Sage of Six Paths says, never mind that. Just give your son these eyes." And Minato says, "Yes, sir." I'm sorry, she called me again. Jesus Christ. Where was I? Yes, but Minato says, "Yes, sir." And now we cut back to Naruto. And Naruto basically rips out his eyes. He rips out one of his eyes and touches it with the eyes of death, and they fuse. And Naruto's like, "What the hell?" But they still become the eyes of death. They just have the Mangekyou Sharingan's powers now. So those three Tomoes are from the Mangekyou Sharingan. Or the three Tomoe Sharingan. Or the Sharingan. I don't even care about what type of Sharingan it is. But Naruto says, "What the hell?" And then he puts one of the eye he just touched, well, his new formed eye, back into his socket. And then he does the same thing with the other one. And then he bandages his eyes up and walks out. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Again. It's like I can't ever have peace. My mom or my dad is always calling me. God, I can't even breathe without them calling me. Oh, God damn. But where was I? Oh. So Naruto basically comes out the cave with his eyes bandaged up. And he basically, if you didn't know, Naruto basically looks like this. Well, his hair changed after he got the eyes, and his eyes are permanently red now. Like his base eyes are permanently red, but when he changes to the dojutsu, they turn purple. So yeah. But Naruto has his eyes bandaged, and he has a bag on his back. The bag is full of all of the scrolls that he found inside of the Death Uzumaki compound. Or the Uzumaki cave, whichever one you want to call it. And so, this is when Naruto walks under a waterfall. And it basically just opens up for him. And the water the water from the waterfall heals his eyes, and he no longer feels pain. So Naruto basically goes in and God damn it, they're always calling. I'm so tired of this. Oh my god. Wow. Can't catch a fucking break. But blah blah blah. They always calling me. Yep, sounds about right. But Naruto goes under the waterfall and his eyes are instantly healed due to the waterfall's healing capabilities. And so the waterfall instantly opens and he walks through. Naruto takes the bandages off his face only to be met face to face with a girl named Fu. And Fu then says, "Who the hell are you?" Naruto looks at her and says, "I am Naruto Uzumaki." And Fu says, "Are you new here?" And Naruto says, "I guess." And then Fu says, "Alright, come with me. We're going to my village leader." And so they go to the village leader, and Naruto says, "I would like to stay here forever." And we're gonna call him the Nazikage. The Nazikage says, "Wait, what? What village did you come from?" "I came from the Hidden Leaf." And then he says, "Why did you leave?" Oh shit. Naruto says, "Because they kicked me out." And then the Nazikage says, "That damn Hidden Leaf." "Sure, kid. I sense no I sense no hatred from you, so of course you can stay here, kid. You'll be staying with Fu." And Fu says, "What? I don't even know him." And then Fu, no, the Nazikage says, "Fu, be polite." And Fu says, "Fine." And so Naruto and Fu go back to her place. When they get to Fu's house, it's beautiful. Fu's house is so neat and clean, unlike Naruto's old, dusty, and rusty, garbage ass apartment. But her house is so clean. Naruto's like, "Wow, this house is amazing." And Fu says, "Yeah, what type of house did you have back at the Leaf Village?" Naruto says, it was bad. It was horrible, actually." And then Fu and Naruto, well, Fu says, "You want to go get something to eat?" And Naruto says, "Sure. Could you also show me around?" And Fu says, "I guess." And so they leave, and everybody is staring or glaring at Fu intensely, like she did something wrong. And at this point, Naruto knows knows he has the nine-tailed fox inside of him. So he looks at Fu and says, "Why are they staring at you?" And Fu says, if I tell you, will you still be my friend?" And Naruto thinks to himself, "Damn, she already considers me a friend." And so Naruto says, "Yeah, I promise." Fu says, I'm the Jinchuriki of the Seven Tails." And Naruto's like, "What?" He basically screams this at Fu, and Fu gets a frown on her face and almost starts to cry. And then Naruto starts crying first and hugs her and basically whispers in her ear, "I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails." And then Fu's like, wait, you're a Jinchuriki too? Wait, is that why you got kicked out of the village? And Naruto says, basically. And so Fu and Naruto form a new bond. Back at the Leaf Village, Jiraiya shows up and is like, Hiruzen, I would like to train my godson. But then Hiruzen says, with a frown on his face, I'm sorry, Jiraiya. The council voted to kick Naruto out of the village, and he's gone. And Jiraiya says, what? What'd you say? Naruto has left the village. And then Jiraiya says, so you're telling me you let my godson go? And Jiraiya basically says, what the fuck were you thinking? He says it with that much energy, and all the Anbu come out, and they're like, show some respect to the third Hokage. And Hiruzen's like, no, it's okay, he's right. Jiraiya, I'm sorry. I couldn't do anything. You know how the council is. And Jiraiya's like, alright, bet that up. Then I guess I'm just gonna have to kill the whole council. And Hiruzen says, Jiraiya, we both know you can't do that. And so Jiraiya's like, fuck out of here. And he leaves. Back to Naruto and Fu. We're gonna have a 10-day time skip. And Naruto and Fu have graduated from the academy. And they're put on a team together with a character or a guy named Zangetsu. And their Jonin leader will be... Shit, I gotta make up a name. Damn, I'm absolutely garbage with the names. We're gonna call him Tanji Kurosaki. And so the teacher in the classroom says, or the teacher of the academy says, Team 10, Naruto Uzumaki, Fu, and Zangetsu. Your Jonin leader will be Tanji Kurosaki. And Naruto basically says, great, and hugs Fu and gives a thumbs up to Zangetsu. So the Jonin instructor shows up and says, hi, my name's Tanji Kurosaki. Nice to meet you all. And Naruto says, nice to meet you too, Sensei. And then they all go over their dreams and aspirations. And Naruto says, well, Zangetsu goes first. And he says, my dream is to become the perfect liquid. And they all look at him like, what? And Zangetsu basically explains there are multiple forms of his water that he can turn into. The perfect liquid basically can heal him, protect him. Damn, that voice crack. Heal him, protect him, and let him fight at all times without getting hurt. Unless somebody is like immensely strong. And Naruto and Fu were like, what the hell? They're strong. And Zangetsu starts laughing and says, I know, right? Fu says, I want to become the strongest Kunoichi. And I want to surpass a certain someone. And she looks at Naruto. And Naruto says, he says, I I haven't been truthful with you all. And they all look at him and say, what? And Naruto basically summons his scythe, and a black raven appears on his shoulder. And Naruto goes into this form. And Naruto says, I am the Grim Reaper. And all of them are basically shocked. And then he goes back to this one. Naruto says, I'm sorry for not being truthful with you all. And they're all like, it's okay. At least you told us. Well, that's what the Johnny instructor says. He says, it's okay. At least you told us. And so, we're going to have a 5-minute time skip. And this time, Naruto has explained his whole backstory and told everybody what he's like and what happened to him. And this only makes Fu love him even more, because now she knows her and Naruto went through the same things, and Naruto and Zangetsu form a deeper bond. And so the joining instructor says, great, now that we're all settled here, we're going to do the bell test. Meet up tomorrow evening. And then he disappears with a gust of rain. And Naruto can sense emotions, and Fu is starting to actually love Naruto. And so Naruto basically takes Fu and he sheen swings away with Fu in a flock of black butterflies. And Zangetsu sheen swings away in a gust of water. And so Naruto basically goes back to Fu's house and he kisses her. And this is what Fu wanted, but she was shocked. And she says, what are you doing? Naruto says, Fu, I love you. And Fu's like, wait, what? Naruto says, ever since I laid my eyes on you, I couldn't stop loving you. And he says, I know we've only known each other for a short while, but still, I'm absolutely in love with you. And this makes Fu's heart thump really fast. And she's like, Naruto, I love you too. And they basically go back into the kiss and start making out. And this eventually leads to touching. 18 part. Please be aware. If you're not 18 or older, please cover your ears. But Naruto basically starts kissing on Fu's neck. And he starts kissing lower and lower until he gets to her stomach. And Fu's moaning a lot. And this is when one of the neighbors knock on the door and are like, Fu, is everything okay in there? And Fu says, yeah, I just cut myself with a knife on accident. And they're like, okay. And they mutter under their breath, demon brat. And so Naruto keeps kissing on Fu. And then he gets to her panties. And this is when Naruto looks at Fu. And he's like, are you ready? And Fu says, yes. And Naruto starts to finger Fu. And Fu's moaning and moaning. And then Naruto puts his penis inside of Fu. And Fu's like, and she starts moaning really loud. But Naruto covers her mouth and starts putting in work. He putting in that work. Boy, when I say that man went to putting in work, he put in work. And Kurama was there. He was like, Naruto, I will help you clap her cheeks. And so Kurama gave Naruto a chakra boost to help him last longer. And so they basically have sex for like an hour. And Naruto busts a nut all over Fu's face. And it's like, he's like, thanks, Kurama. He basically says that in his mind. And Kurama's like, no problem. We'll clap those cheeks again. And Fu is like, thanks, Seven Tails. Because she hasn't learned the Seven Tails name. But the Seven Tails is caring. And she's like, and the Seven Tails like, you're welcome, Fu. And the Seven Tails basically help Fu throughout the whole thing on not making it hurt, but making it feel good. So that she wouldn't, like, be in pain, basically. And so Fu basically gets cleaned up and goes and lays back in the bed with Naruto. And they basically fall asleep in each other's arms. And the next day, Naruto wakes up, and this nigga is strong as fuck. Like if you've ever seen Baki, and you've seen when Baki had sex for the first time, and he got a massive power boost. This is what Naruto got. He got a massive power boost. Like, only after having sex, he got a massive power boost, and he's like, what the hell? And so did Fu. And so Naruto was already like Kage level. And Fu instantly becomes high tuning level. But with the Seven Tails help, she'll become mid Jonin level. And so they go to the bell test. And Naruto doesn't want Fu to get hurt. And he looks at Zangetsu and says, I'll handle this. And the Tanji basically says, go. And Naruto rushes at him. Tanji dodges the first strike, but Naruto was only planning for this. He threw a kunai and it hit Tanji's leg. And then he had his scythe to Tanji's neck and took the bells Nah, he had his sight at Tanji's neck and then put electricity into his sight and it shocked the hell out of Tanji. And then he took the bells. And so they're all cheering. And they pass, basically. They go out to celebrate. And they're like, damn, Naruto, you did all the work. You didn't even let us help. And Naruto smiles and rubs the back of his head and is like, sorry, I didn't mean to. But then Fu and Naruto go home. And they go to sleep. And so time skip to 5 months later. Naruto. Oh shit. Naruto, Fu, and Zangetsu have done a whole bunch of D rank missions, C rank missions. They've done a whole bunch of C rank missions, a whole bunch of D rank missions, 5 B rank missions, 8 A rank missions, and 3 S rank missions. And this is when Naruto, Fu, Zangetsu, and Tanji go back in. And they ask for another mission. And so they get a mission to protect Tazuna. But this is when we're gonna not fast forward. We're gonna cut to Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai on a team. And they get the same mission. Gato basically is waiting for them at the bridge. He basically stays at the bridge and they have to go to him. And so we cut back to Naruto and they go on their journey. Their journey is smooth, but Team 7's journey is rough due to them having to fight the Demon Brothers. So both of the teams get there and they look at one another and are like, who the hell are you guys? Well, that's what Team 7, Sasuke. Sasuke says, who the hell are they? And Naruto says, Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, led by Kakashi Hatake. I don't know the other kid though. And Sakura and Sasuke say, how do you know that? And Naruto basically flares his demon eye and says, because my name is Naruto Uzumaki. And they laugh. And they say, Naruto is dead. They kicked him out the village and he died. And then Naruto says, oh, is that so? Do you remember this? And then he summons his scythe. And Sakura and Sasuke instantly get scared. But Kakashi is like, what the fuck is this little Genin doing? Like, he's weak as shit. And so Kakashi's like, hey, put that away. You're obviously scaring them. Don't make me come over there. And Tanji's like, hold on now. He my student. Don't be talking to my student that way, or I will dead slide you, my nigga. I will dead slide you, Kakashi. I don't care if you have the Sharingan or not. Cause Tanji is a samurai and he has Senju blood, so he has wood release. He has wood release. Well, let me tell you Tanji's chakra natures. He basically has water release, earth release, fire release, and wind release. And he has lightning. And so he also has Senju stage mode. So basically, he's stronger than Kakashi. And Kakashi basically is like, who are you? And Tanji says, my name is Tanji Kurosaki. And Kakashi has heard of him. And he's like, huh, so you're strong. And you know, Kakashi basically stares down. They both have a staring competition until Tazuna gets there and is like, help, help, please help. And this is basically when Zabuza shows up. And Naruto instantly goes behind Zabuza and impales him with his scythe. And then Haku jumps out. And in this one, Haku's gonna be a girl. Harem. Oh, did y'all hear that? No, y'all didn't hear that. I'm pretty sure y'all didn't hear that. But Haku's gonna be a girl, and she's gonna be like, Master Zabuza. And Zabuza's like, don't. I can tell this kid's a worthy opponent. And so Zabuza says, if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be by his hands. And so Naruto says, I'm glad you feel that way. And Zabuza's body starts to rot away. And in his last moments, Zabuza says, Haku, go with them. Live your life. Don't be angry. It's okay. And then Naruto says, psych nigga, you ain't finna die. And basically releases his death jutsu, as I call it. And Zabuza's body forms back. And he's like, wait, what? What was that? Was that a genjutsu? Naruto's like, hell no, boy. I'm strong as shit. He doesn't say it that way, but he basically says, no. It was my own jutsu, and it's really strong. It's probably an SSS rank jutsu. And everybody basically looks at Naruto. Naruto's like, what'd I do? And Haku runs over to Zabuza and hugs him. And then she runs over to Naruto and hugs him. And this makes Fu a little jealous, but Naruto can sense it. And he basically hugs the both of them. He basically grabs Fu and pulls her into. And when he does this, Fu and Haku accidentally kiss. And they basically pull apart super fast. But Haku's like, it was a good kiss. And Fu's like, you're not wrong there. And so those two form a bond. Well, those two form a pretty good bond. And Naruto's like, harem. And they both basically harem. And they're like, wait, what? And Naruto says it again. He's like, oh God, harem. And they're just like, I mean, I think I like Fu. Well, Haku says, I think I like Fu. And Fu says, I like Haku. And in the moment that their lips touched, Haku and Fu, they basically learned each other's whole life story in that 1 second of their lips touching. And so now they have a harem. We're just gonna say that was due to the fact of plot armor. I don't really care much about not using plot armor, because, plot armor is overpowered, but we won't talk about that. So, Naruto says, Fu, Haku, back up for a second, please. I have something I'd like to deal with. And so they back up, and he says, Zabuza, would you like to come back to my village? And Zabuza says, hell yeah, kid. If I could keep fighting you, I'd love to. And everybody is baffled. Like, everybody except for Fu and Haku are baffled. They are baffled. Because Team 7 didn't even get to do anything. Naruto just formed a harem. And now Gato's men have showed up. And Naruto's like, if I deal with them in 5 seconds, you have to come back. Well, you have to fight me. You have to fight me as soon as we get back to the village. And Zabuza says, alright, kid. And so Naruto says, Demon Eye. Sorry, he says, Death Eye. And he looks at all of them, and they all fall to the ground and die, basically. Nah, they all catch fire and die. And they're all like, what the hell was that? And Naruto's like, Death Eye, Demon Fire Blaze. And their bodies are basically disintegrated, except for Gato's. Naruto basically runs over to Gato and throws Gato to Tazuna and says, Tazuna, I want your people to kill him. And Tazuna says, with pleasure. I'm sorry, I had to pause.